right, let's move to Thanksgiving Thursday, U.S. Thanksgiving Thursday night. The Egg Bowl. It's Ole Miss and Mississippi State, one of these traditional rivalry games you'll see this week of the season. We have Ole Miss, 11-point road favorites in Starkville, 55.5 the total. So what I always look for with these teams that just fired a head coach, team that's kind of had a disappointing, underachieving season, do I see life from that team? Do I see a pulse from that team first game after the change? Because let's be honest, this has been a dreadful year for Mississippi State. Not good. Zach Arnett deserved to be fired. I thought everything he did literally and figuratively in the wake of Mike Leach. I mean, just absolutely awful. I mean, he adjusted the air raid. He got rid of that. He altered and that offense. I think against the strength of this team, Will Rogers got injured. He had to adjust. He struggled early. Then he got injured. So Arnett's gone. I saw the game last week. They started to get back to their tempo. Again, Mississippi State that we saw under Mike Leach, which was good to see. Will Rogers came back from injury in that game. We ended up seeing, obviously, Will Rogers as far as, that game easing his way back. Struggled a little bit, but when you see that it was Southern Miss, a little concerning. But, at least the defense stepped up a little bit, forced some turnovers there, and had a decent win against Southern Miss. Now, Southern Miss not very good, but still, it was a step in the right direction for Mississippi State, 41-20 here in this game. Now, this is a huge step up in class. They're going from that game to taking on, obviously, an excellent Ole Miss team. Gosh, I don't know if I fully trust them enough to take the points with Mississippi State, but I saw enough energy and positive momentum from there and a response from them after the firing of Arnett that I don't think they're going to go in here and lay down. I think the rivalry game, you're going to get a great effort from Mississippi State. Now, will it be enough? We do know there's a pretty sizable gap between these two teams is the question, but I wouldn't be comfortable laying this many on the road with Ole Miss. I don't know if I can get to the window with the Bulldogs, considering that still this is a huge, huge step up. And every time they faced anyone remotely good this year, Mississippi State, they've been throttled. 24-3 by Kentucky, 51-10 by A&M. 40-17 by Alabama, 41-14 by LSU. I mean, they've been destroyed by every good SEC team they've played. Even the mediocre SEC teams, the average ones have beaten them up pretty good. Yeah. So I think Mississippi State's coming to play. The question is coming to play going to be enough to cover plus 11.5? What do you think here, C-Mac?
I don't know if it is, and even at home here, they've gotten, whether it was Bama, LSU, and I was on both those to lay it. I don't know. I don't remember if I was on Kentucky, which beat them 24-3. Rogers came back and talked about that was about what the spread was. I thought Southern Miss could have hung a little bit better in that game. They had a huge drought where they scored right away and didn't have a touchdown, it seemed like, for forever, almost to the fourth quarter in that game. And I don't know what to make of Mississippi State's defense. Like, the numbers have gotten better because they were just awful. I thought the first 4 or 5 weeks they had no pressure up front and haven't looked great. I don't know what to make them because against bad teams they've been better. Any step up they've gotten killed. To me, I just think you lay it here with Ole Miss. I know it's the rivalry and all that. These games have been close lately, but Mississippi State was a lot different football team the last 3 or 4 years than they are now. I think Ole Miss in the end wears them down, so I'm leaning to lay it even in this rivalry.
Yeah, this is one, and I usually try to make a strong case for an underdog in the rivalry game, but to me, I've got way too many examples staring me in the face of them getting throttled by good or great SEC teams. Every single one is just destroyed and whipped this Mississippi State team. That definitely concerns me. And we're seeing that offense really humming here in the second half of the season. Jackson Dart, Quinshad Judkins, and that Ole Miss offense, they've really got it cranked up here as of late.
They beat up on bad teams. This is a rivalry where the game course could be tight, but we've seen them step up, get their ass kicked a little bit with Ole Miss. But
absolutely. I'd be a little worried here.